Hey guys, Tucker here. I'm going to be ranking each Black Ops 4 weapon in order from worst to best. And let me just classify a few things. There's going to be no DLC weapons on this list. That counts the Tiger Shark, the Switchblade, or any of that crap. Also, this is my own opinion, so don't get pissed if I don't have your gun in the right order, okay? Let's get into this. There are 25 guns in Black Ops 4, and we are going to be starting with the worst one, which is the Hellion Salvo, a rocket launcher in the secondaries. Now, I don't know why people use this rocket launcher. It freaking makes me mad to have to say this, but it's just like the XM53 from Black Ops 3 in a sense that it's worse. So, this gun, it shoots a rocket. It has high damage, high range, high fire, or actually, no, it has the lowest fire rate if you think about it. And then accuracy is pretty astounding. But then again, the only primary reason that the Hellion Salvo is included on this list and it's all the way at the bottom is because it's only used for taking down score streaks and equipment. Go figure. Next gun we're going to be talking about is the Outlaw, number 24 on this list. It is not a sniper to mess around with. It is potentially a 3-round burst weapon, which means it's game over for those who get struck with that. No, that's not really it if we're classifying the Outlaw, okay? It only has 9 rounds in the magazine size, and it has half the damage of what it's supposed to have, and then range is epic, accuracy is okay, fire rate is the worst you could ever see. It's probably worse than the Hellion Salvo in a sense, but it depends on how you use it, and that's why it is number 24 on this list. Number 23 on this list, it is the SDM. Now, surprisingly, I have to put a low on this list because for a bunch of reasons, but I actually like this gun. Although, and when I played Gun Game when it first came out, it was terrifying to use. But, you know, the SDM, it's not exactly your basic sniper rifle as you would think it is. It's a bolt action sniper rifle. It only has 12 rounds in the magazine. It's like the Draken from Black Ops 3, but it has a slower fire rate. It has 8 out of 20 damage, 11 out of 20 accuracy, and 16 out of 20 range, which is probably average for a sniper rifle, which makes it better than the Outlaw in a sense of stats. And then, depending on what attachments you have on it, it's actually really good and has maximized ammo capacity if you put extended mags 2 on it. But yeah, this is my reason for putting it on number 23. Coming down to number 22 on our list, we have the VKM750, potentially the worst LMG in Black Ops 4 in my opinion. Although it does offer the highest amount of damage in the class, it also has an impressive range if you think about it, but then it doesn't deliver as much satisfying skills as you think it would be because it is a staggering low mobility. That's what it has. And the fire rate is it's horrible. The fire rate and accuracy of it is horrible. The range is decent, and it does, like I said, it does the most damage in the class, but then it does not deliver some high stakes for an LMG. Number 21 is the ABR 223. Now this is a rather pretty good AR, but I think the main reason why it's really low on this list is the fact that I don't even use this gun, so I don't know how it works or anything like that. But apparently it says here when paired with the correct attachments, there is no denying that the ABR definitely has the capabilities of being a rather devastating weapon, which I can believe, but I would have to use it to see it. And then it has kind of bad stats for an AR. Like damage is 11 out of 20, range is 8 out of 20, fire rate is 12 out of 20, which I think that might be the best in the class, and the accuracy is 8 out of 20. So maybe average, maybe a tiny bit below average if I measure it out. Number 20, the GKS. Now this gun, it does manage to fall short in areas of damage and fire, but it is essential when the weapon is used primarily in close quarter areas like that. But however, it has a stronger accuracy and range than the MX9, which we will talk about later in the video. And despite having the advantage over it, it has the ability to attach the quad shot operator mod, which is not too bad. But then again, I don't use the MX9, or not the MX9, the GKS, so I don't even know much about it, but maybe if I use it, I probably know a lot. And the stats of range, fire rate, and accuracy are the same as 9 out of 20, and the damage is 4 out of 20. Next gun we're going to be talking about is the Koshka. Now this gun is alright depending on fire rate and ADS, but it has a better ADS and fire rate than the Paladin, which we're going to be talking about later. And it is a one-shot kill. I think it's to the upper chest and above, so obviously headshots are one shot, one kill, but it does just a tiny bit less damage than the Paladin, But it's still a good gun, but it's just not as high as you think it would be. It does 15 out of 20 damage, 16 out of 20 range, 3 out of 20 fire rate, and accuracy is 9 out of 20. Next gun we're going to be talking about, it is the SOG 9mm. This gun is, I got to tell you, this gun is actually freaking annoying. I hate going against this gun. I hate going against people with this gun because all they do is just freaking spray the hell out of it, and I can't even get a kill. But anyways, enough about that. Okay, so the SOG 9mm, I almost said 99M. The SOG 9mm shares the similarities with the Cordite, which is another gun we'll be talking about later. In exchange for an increased fire rate and superior handling, it suffers from reduced damage and range capabilities. That's literally all I'm going to say. And the stats, damage is 3 out of 20, range is 5 out of 20, fire rate is 15 out of 20, and accuracy is 8 out of 20. Next gun on this list is the Auger DMR. It's a semi-automatic tactical rifle, but it is it is extremely powerful. But the reason why it's very low on this list is because like you could just use other assault rifles than the Auger. Like it's just that easy. But anyways, going off the negative side, it's very accurate and can even double as a substitute for a sniper rifle because of the way it shoots, and it acts like a sniper rifle. Unfortunately, it does suffer from a slow rate of fire, which can be a pretty big deterrent for many players. And it ultimately depends on the map of where you take it around. Damage is 13 out of 20, range is 9 out of 20, fire rate is 5 out of 20, and accuracy is 12 out of 20. Next gun we're going to be talking about is another one of the most annoying guns in the game. It is the Spitfire. Due to its insanely fast firing rate and high damage capabilities, the Spitfire is an absolute beast when it comes to close quarter combat. That's a true fact. But there's no denying that it's one of the best close quarter weapons in a sense, like the SOG. It's just like the SOG in a way. But depending on where the map is in the game mode, it also recommended that the Spitfire should only ever be used as a secondary weapon because of its poor long distance capabilities. And the damage is 5 out of 20, 4 out of 20 for range, and then fire rate is 17 out of 20, and then accuracy is 5 out of 20. Next gun is the MX9. It is one of the go-to submachine guns in Black Ops 4 because it's due to its incredibly high rate of fire as well as its damage capabilities. It's expected to be with the submachine gun class like always, and it suffers from moderate recoil, which I can understand because when you shoot it pulls up a bit, and it can be a bit of an issue for those who aren't too familiar with the weapon. Once mastered, it is used in the right hands. The MX9 is arguably the best SMG available. Damage is 7 out of 20, range is 7 out of 20, accuracy is 7 out of 20, and fire rate is 11 out of 20. Number 14 on this list is the Vapor XKG. Now, this gun is probably the worst in the assault rifle class, but it has a high fire rate and little to no recoil, and it is the perfect balance between the ABR and, actually no, not the ABR, the AR and SMG category, kind of in between those. It's 7 out of 20 on damage, 6 out of 20 on, or actually 6 out of 10 on range. Fire rate is 12 out of 10. I don't know why it's going by 10s here, and accuracy is 9 out of 10. And depending on which attachments you use for it, it actually makes a really good gun. Just after the Vapor, we can look at the Rampart. The Rampart 17. It is in exchange for dealing significant amounts of damage and recoil. The Rampart forgoes accuracy, range, and even fire rate. With lackluster stats across the board, the Rampart 17 is definitely a challenging weapon to master. Yeah, the fire rate is not too great for the Rampart. It looks exactly like a Scar, however, which kind of gives people nostalgia and all that stuff. Also, if you're one that struggles with accuracy and high recoil weapons, then the Rampart 17 is definitely one that you should avoid. So, yeah, just a little tip. Next gun we're getting to, it is the first pistol on our list, and it's probably one of the most go-to weapons, especially for zombies, and it is the Strife. Now, it has decent damage and fire rates, but don't be surprised if you down your enemies in 6 to 5 shots, or 5 to 6. Damage capabilities is 9 out of 20, range is 7 out of 20, fire rate is 4 out of 20, and accuracy is 10 out of 20. What I would use on a Strife probably is maybe an extended mag or maybe a laser sight, because I always like to hip fire. So that's what makes a good gun. Next one on the list is this LMG and the next LMG I'm going to be saying later are basically the two best guns in the game if you think about it, but this one is just low. It is the Hades. It doesn't retain the same level of damage as the Tiein, which we'll be talking about later, but it retains a significant amount of range and has an increasingly fast fire rate that makes it lethal when you put it into the right hands. The Damage is 8 out of 20, range is 11 out of 20, fire rate is 14 out of 20, and accuracy is 6 out of 20. I don't use attachments for this gun. All I basically use is maybe a reflex sight, and that's it. Next one we're going to be talking about is the Mozu. It is your go-to secondary weapon for pistols. Now this gun is super good. Let me tell you, the first weapon, if you start off if you play gun game, you start off with the Mozu, and it's maybe like a 3-shot kill or something like that. But it is not too bad. On the sight, if you use a compact scope, dude, you got to use that. That's like one of the most OP things I've ever seen on a Mozu like that. But damage is 13 out of 20, range is 6 out of 20, fire rate is 3 out of 20, and accuracy is 8 out of 20. So not too bad stats for a pistol. They're actually decent. Okay, now we're in the top 10s, which is going to be the pretty damn good ones. Now, number 10 is the SG12, one of the best shotguns in the game. Well, there's only 2 shotguns. Ideally, for those that love close quarter combat, the SG12 boasts a reliable 2-shot kill with the ability to land 1-hit kills the closer you are, which is not too bad. Not too bad for a shotgun. I'd rather put laser sight on it. No sights needed whatsoever, because all you need to do is hit fire. That's literally it when it comes to me. It's 10 out of 20 on damage, 3 out of 20 on range, 6 out of 20 on fire rate, and 5 out of 20 on accuracy. So it's not the best stats, but it actually makes a pretty good shotgun. Next one, on number 9, is the RK7 Garrison. Now this gun is pretty decent for a pistol. It's a 3-round burst, like the RK5 from Black Ops 3. It lacks some of the stats of the Strife, but it has a rather impressive fire rate. It has a moderate recoil, which can be challenging for some players. But the attachments I would use for this is maybe a reflex, a laser sight, maybe extended mags 1, which is increased ammo capacity, not maximize. Maximized hipfire capacity, which would be laser sight 2. I might use that. But anyways, the stats go from damage to 720, range is 4 out of 20, fire rate is 13 out of 20, and accuracy is 6 out of 20. Number 8, the Mog 12. Now, I'm going to say one negative thing about this, and that's the operator mod. The operator mod is so annoying. There's no point on putting Dragon Breath on the operator mod if you can just use long barrel and barrel choke. Those are the only 2 attachments you need. But it seems to be very underpowered in BO4, as it can barely kill an enemy in a single shot. But staying close is ideally like one of the best ideas to do, or whatever. But damage is 15 out of 20, range is 4 out of 20, and fire rate and accuracy ties at 3 out of 20. Number 7 is the KM57. Now this gun is very, very good. It does slightly lower damage than the Rampart, which is, it's okay, but it's not too bad. It bests the Rampart in every other way with controllable recoil, decent damage, and accuracy stats. The AK-47 style rifle is great in almost all situations. Although when it comes to an all-around great assault weapon, there is no denying that it's out there for perfect skills. Let's just say that. I'm not saying anything more about this except attachments. So, or the attachments, the stats. Damage is 10 out of 20, range is 7 out of 20, and fire rate and accuracy tie at 8 out of 20. Number 6, the Cordite. Now, I have the Mark II of this weapon, and it's like one of the greatest things I've ever had. It's one of the best well-rounded SMGs available, with the largest ammo pool in the class and a rather impressive fire rate and damage. It's kind of no wonder that that's an often choice of many players, honestly. It saves much needed creative class points, which is beneficial in a sense. The default sight is also a delight to use, it's the easiest sight in my opinion. Damage, range, and accuracy tie at 6 out of 20, and then fire rate is 13 out of 20. Alright, number 5, the Paladin HB50. Now, it boasts the amount of damage along the sniper rifle category, but however, it does suffer from a slow ADS and a rate of fire. Its stats range from 16 out of 20 on both the damage and range. Fire rate is 2 out of 20, and accuracy is 8 out of 20. For a sight, I use a recon because, I mean, it's just easier. Even though the ADS is so slow, it's just easier to have a good sight. So yeah, comes in number 5. Number 4, the ICR, one of the best assault rifles in my opinion. With exceptional accuracy and decent fire rate, and the best ranged weapon capabilities in the AR class, the ICR is overall a fairly balanced weapon that excels in more distance based on encounters. To top it all off, the ICR has very low recoil, which is very, very beneficial for most players. Unfortunately, the ICR does have a downfall, as it lacks that much needed punch that other weapons in the class possesses, making it not the most ideal weapon for many players, although it is an ideal weapon for me. Damage is 6 out of 20, range is 8 out of 20, fire rate is 10 out of 20, and accuracy is 11 out of 20. Number 3, the swordfish. Just like the auger, it's kind of beneficial if you're talking about 2 tactical rifles in one class. But the swordfish is amongst one of the best weapons in the game when used correctly. It's a 4-round burst, and it's fully automatic by simply tapping the trigger fast enough with the Penta Burst Operator mod attached. It excels in accuracy, but is also ideal for those mid to long range encounters, which is not too bad. Damage is 7 out of 20, range is 10 out of 20, fire rate is 13 out of 20, and accuracy is 9 out of 20. Number 2 on this list is the Maddux RFP. Now, this gun has a high fire rate, minimal recoil, and an extended magazine that tops the class. It is an all-around great balanced assault rifle, nonetheless. It has the ability to destroy your opponents thanks to its high fire rate, because it's an ideal choice for any newcomers or veterans that are looking for a reliable weapon. But yeah, if you put iron sights on it, actually no, not iron sights, the ELO, because I kind of get mixed up between those two. But if you put an ELO on a Maddux, it's not too bad itself. But you also gotta have like maybe laser sight, maybe FMJ, or pretty much any stat that involves more damage. So yeah, damage and range tie on 5 out of 20 or 5 out of 10. Fire rate is 14 out of 10, and then accuracy is 10 out of 10. Honestly, this is probably one of the best lists I've ever made. But number 1 for the best gun in Call of Duty Black Ops 4, it is the Tiein. Now, the only downside about this is its mediocre reload time and heavyweight. But although it does make up for its limited recoil because of aiming down the sights, especially when crouching or going prone. It has the largest magazine size of any other weapon, giving it a massive advantage over the other weapons. It has the ability to deal some rather devastating damage from mid to long range distances, and you simply cannot go wrong when selecting it, honestly. The damage is 9 out of 20, range is 13 out of 20, fire rate is also 9 out of 20, and accuracy is 8 out of 20. I would probably use a NVIR for one of the scopes, because if you play on like a map like Contraband, it's super easy to use and very beneficial in many different forms. Extended Mags 1, I also use that. FMJ 1, and I used to use Quick Draw, but that just improves the aim speed, so that you don't really need that. But yeah, use FMJ and Extended Mags, and yeah. Well, there you guys have it. If you guys enjoyed this list, please leave a like, comment down below what else would you like to see on the channel, and just subscribe so I can help more viewers of mine. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.